There's a question I wish more couples would ask each other. Quietly, honestly, in the calm moments between the chaos of life. Do you feel safe with me? Not just physically, but emotionally. Do you feel like I see you, hear you, hold space for you? Do you feel like you can breathe here? Trust doesn't just come from loyalty or fidelity. It comes from a daily decision to be a soft place to land for the one you love. And safety? It's not a given in love, it's something you build. Piece by piece, over time. So today, I want to walk you through 10 small but powerful actions that can help you build trust and emotional safety in your marriage, not through grand gestures, but through quiet presence, consistent kindness, and genuine care. Part 1. Listen without fixing, just be present. There's a kind of listening that changes the entire energy of a room. It's not the kind where you're waiting to respond, preparing a counterpoint, or hunting for the right advice. No, it's quieter than that. Gentler. It's the kind of listening that says, I'm not here to fix you. I'm here to hold this space while you figure it out yourself. And I'm not going anywhere. In many marriages, especially in seasons of stress, we default to solving. It feels like the right thing to do, offer advice, present a solution, tell them what worked for us. But what often gets missed in that moment is the very thing your partner is craving: emotional presence. Think of it this way. Imagine your partner comes home visibly deflated after a long, hard day. Their voice is low, their shoulders are tense, and they finally say, I feel like I'm failing. The fixer in us wants to jump in. No, you're doing great. Here's what you should do. But the soul in them needs something else. Maybe just a soft glance, a gentle nod, a whisper that says, that sounds really hard. I'm here if you want to talk. In that space, trust is quietly born. There's a story I heard once about a man whose wife was struggling with anxiety. Every night, she'd lie awake, spinning with worry. He used to give her advice, tell her to try breathing techniques, to journal, to go to bed earlier. It never worked. She felt more alone, more pressured. But one night, instead of trying to fix it, he just laid next to her and said, I'm not going to tell you to calm down. I'm just going to be here with you while your thoughts do what they do. And when they pass, I'll still be here. That night was the first time she fell asleep in his arms in weeks. Because safety doesn't come from being rescued, it comes from being fully seen and not rushed out of our mess. You don't have to be your partner's therapist. You don't have to have the answers. What matters is your presence. Sit on the floor with them. Hand them a blanket. Say, you don't need to be okay right now for me to love you. When you become the one who listens with your whole heart, who leans in, stays soft, and doesn't interrupt, you stop being part of their chaos and start becoming part of their healing. And that is where emotional safety truly begins. Part 2. Keep your word, even in small things. Trust, in the heart of a relationship, is rarely shattered by grand betrayals. More often, it's worn down slowly, quietly, by small promises broken and little expectations unmet. Saying you'll call and not calling. Saying, I'll be home by 6, and showing up at 7 without explanation. Saying, I'll help with the kids tonight, and getting distracted. It may seem minor in the moment, but to the person waiting, those small things speak loudly. They say, you don't matter as much as I said you did. That's why consistency is one of the greatest forms of love. It tells your partner, you can count on me. Not just in crisis, but in the normal, boring, everyday stuff. Picture a husband who makes it a point to bring his wife coffee every morning before she gets out of bed. Not because she can't make it herself, and not because she asks, but because it's one promise he made early in their marriage that he's kept for years. On the days she feels unnoticed by the world, that small act whispers, I haven't forgotten you. Or imagine a wife who always picks up her husband's dry cleaning without him reminding her, even when her own day is packed. These are not romantic movie moments. They are trust-building, life-giving routines. But on the flip side, when small commitments are consistently missed, when your words don't match your actions, your partner begins to emotionally flinch. They may stop asking for help, stop depending. They may even stop expecting kindness, which is how distance begins to form in even the closest marriages. That's why keeping your word, even in the tiny details, becomes a kind of emotional glue. It tells your spouse, your peace matters to me, your trust matters to me, and I don't take your heart for granted. Because dependable love doesn't shout. It shows up, and shows up, and shows up. Part 3. Reassuring touch. Speak through the body. There's a kind of touch that doesn't ask for anything in return. It's not about passion or performance, it's about presence. And in marriage, that kind of touch is sacred. It says, "You're not alone." A gentle hand on the lower back while passing through the hallway. A thumb tracing their knuckles while watching TV. A forehead kiss before one of you heads out for work. These small physical moments seem insignificant, but they are the body's way of saying what words sometimes cannot. I see you. I'm here. I've got you. Over time, couples often stop reaching for each other. The demands of life, kids, work, stress, begin to take up the physical and emotional space where touch used to live. It's easy to fall into routines where affection is only reserved for intimacy or special occasions. But the most emotionally secure couples don't wait for those moments. They create them daily in passing. During chores, at red lights, in silence. These touches become touchstones, anchors of comfort in a noisy world. There's something tender about watching an elderly couple walking through a grocery store. Fingers still entwined, steadying each other like it's second nature. Or a young couple who instinctively lean toward one another when laughter fills the room. That kind of nonverbal communication is not learned overnight. It's cultivated through years of choosing to stay physically present, especially when emotions run high or words are hard to find. Reassuring touch softens tension. It calms the nervous system. It tells your partner, "You are still safe with me. Even when you're upset. Even when we're not saying much. Even when the day has worn you down." So today, reach for their hand not to start something, but to say something. You are loved here. Part 4. Say, "I'm proud of you." Affirm their efforts. We often assume our partners know how we feel, that they know we admire them, appreciate them, believe in them, but love grows fragile in silence. And emotional safety requires more than love, it requires reassurance. One of the most powerful forms of reassurance? Saying, "I'm proud of you," not just when they land a new job or finish a big project, but when they're doing the quiet, daily work of simply showing up. Think of the mom who wakes up early to pack lunches, get the kids dressed, and still makes it to her own job on time. She doesn't win awards for it. But when her husband looks her in the eyes and says, "You amaze me, I see what you're doing," even when no one else does, something softens inside her. Or picture a man working 2 jobs to keep the family afloat. He doesn't complain, but he's tired. One evening, his wife sits next to him, holds his hand, and says, "I'm proud of the man you are. I'm proud of your strength. I'm proud of how you love us." That moment becomes a lifeline in the middle of his exhaustion. When we express pride in our partner, we create a relationship culture where growth is celebrated, not taken for granted, where effort is noticed, not assumed. Too often, we only vocalize disappointment or frustration. But in safe relationships, affirmation flows freely and frequently. We speak into each other's identity. We remind each other of our worth. We become the mirror that reflects their goodness back to them, even on the days they can't see it themselves. So don't wait for the perfect moment to say it. The ordinary ones matter more. Say, "I'm proud of you," when they apologize after a fight. Say it when they share a new idea or try something uncomfortable. Say it when they're still trying. because your pride in them might be the very thing that keeps them going. Part 5. Stay calm in conflict. Conflict is inevitable. Every couple argues. Every marriage encounters tension, disagreement, and misalignment. But the way we handle conflict, how we show up for each other in those charged moments, determines whether our relationship becomes a safe harbor or a battlefield. Safety in love doesn't mean the absence of problems. It means knowing that even in disagreement, your heart is still held with care. Think about the last argument you had with your partner. Did voices rise? Did one of you walk away? Did it end in silence, slamming doors, or emotional withdrawal? Now imagine a different version. One where frustration was met not with blame, but with patience. Where raised voices were replaced with soft tones. Where, even in anger, there was restraint, an unspoken commitment not to wound. That's the kind of response that builds emotional safety, a calm presence in the middle of relational storms. There's a couple I know, Sarah and Daniel. They've been married for 15 years. When Sarah is overwhelmed, her emotions often come out fast and loud. Earlier in their marriage, Daniel would match her tone, defensive, reactive, even sarcastic. It would escalate quickly, but after years of counseling and growth, Daniel learned to stay grounded. Now, when Sarah raises her voice, he pauses, breathes, and says, "I want to hear you, but I need you to lower your voice so we can actually connect." That calm boundary has changed the tone of their entire relationship. Sarah feels heard instead of attacked. Daniel feels respected instead of blamed. And the trust between them deepens every time they choose peace over power. Staying calm doesn't mean suppressing your feelings. It means choosing not to let your emotions take the wheel. It's saying, "I'm angry, but I still care about how I speak to you. I'm hurt, but I won't throw words that wound." Emotional safety thrives when your partner knows that even at your worst, you won't try to break them. You'll protect the connection, even in the fire. Because love isn't proven in the easy moments, it's tested in the heat of conflict. And if you can stay soft there, you become the safest place your partner knows. Part 6. Ask before assuming. Practice gentle curiosity. Assumptions are shortcuts our minds take when we're tired, anxious, or feeling disconnected, but they're also one of the fastest ways to erode trust in a relationship. We assume our partner's silence means they're angry. We assume their distraction means they don't care. We assume they're pulling away, so we pull away first. But what if, instead of assuming, we got curious? What if we gently asked before jumping to conclusions? Imagine this. Your partner comes home quiet. They barely make eye contact. Your mind starts racing. Did I do something wrong? Are they upset with me? Is something going on? You feel rejected before a single word is spoken. But what if, instead of letting fear drive your reaction, you gently said, "Hey, you seem a little off today. Is everything okay? I want to understand, not guess." That one question can open a door that assumptions would have slammed shut. Let's take another example. Josh and Elena had been married for 10 years. One evening, Elena noticed that Josh had been glued to his phone during dinner. She instantly felt dismissed, unimportant. In the past, she might have snapped, "Why don't you just eat alone with your phone?" But this time, she paused and said, "Hey, I'm feeling a little left out. Can you help me understand what's going on?" It turns out Josh had just received a stressful work email and didn't want to dump his anxiety on her. That one moment of gentle curiosity spared them a night of disconnection and instead brought them closer. Asking, instead of assuming, takes humility. It means giving your partner the benefit of the doubt. It means choosing to believe that their intentions might be softer than your fears. It doesn't mean avoiding hard truths. It means creating space for truth to be spoken in love. And in that space, trust can breathe. So next time your mind rushes to judgment, slow it down. Ask a question. Offer warmth instead of walls. Because the safest relationships are not built on guesses, they're built on conversations that begin with, "Help me understand." Part 7. Celebrate their joy, don't compete with it. Joy is one of the most intimate emotions we can share in a relationship. When your partner experiences something good, a win at work, a moment of personal growth, a compliment from a friend, your reaction matters more than you think. If your first instinct is to match it, compare it, or downplay it, the joy starts to shrink. But if you can genuinely celebrate with them, even when you're having a hard day, you create emotional safety that says, "Your joy is my joy too." We don't often talk about this, but in many relationships, subtle competition exists. It's not intentional, but when one partner is thriving, the other might feel left behind. It's tempting to respond with, "That's great," but, or, "Must be nice for you." Those comments seem harmless, but they sting. They send a signal. There's not enough space for both of us to shine. That kind of dynamic turns celebration into tension. And over time, it teaches your partner to keep their joy to themselves. But when you become their loudest cheerleader, when your eyes light up at their good news, when your voice rises with pride instead of envy, your love becomes expansive. Think of David and Marissa. David finally got his book published after years of rejections. Marissa was dealing with a hard season in her own career. But when the book arrived in the mail, she threw a surprise dinner with candles and champagne. "Tonight is about you," she said. David cried, not because of the book, but because of the way she celebrated it with him. Celebrating your partner's joy means creating a home where success isn't threatening, it's shared. It means letting go of scorecards and stepping into abundance. It says, "There's enough love here for both of us to win." That kind of emotional safety builds a bond that goes beyond survival. It creates a relationship that truly thrives. Part 8. Respect their boundaries, love without pressure. One of the most loving things you can say to your partner is, "You don't have to be everything, all the time, for me to love you." Respecting boundaries is not about creating distance, it's about creating space where love can breathe without suffocating. We all have limits, emotional, physical, mental, and when we ignore our partner's boundaries, when we push, press, or guilt them into saying yes when their soul is asking for no, we make love feel unsafe. Many people confuse closeness with control. They think love means full access. Every detail, every mood, every moment must be shared. But real love doesn't demand constant connection. It honors individuality. It says, "Even when you need time alone, I still feel close to you. Even when you need space to think, I trust we're okay." That kind of trust can only grow when boundaries are seen as sacred, not selfish. Take the story of Alex and Jenna. Jenna, after a draining week of family drama, told Alex she needed a quiet Saturday morning to be alone, recharge, and journal. Alex used to interpret that as rejection. He'd sulk, send guilt-laced texts, or hover around the house. But over time, he learned that Jenna's solitude wasn't a threat, it was medicine. And when he gave her that space with kindness, maybe even brewed her coffee and left it by the door, Jenna came back softer, more open, more ready to connect, not because she was forced to, but because she was free to. Boundaries aren't walls, they're doors with gentle handles. When respected, they swing open more easily. But when forced, they slam shut. In a safe relationship, both partners know, I can say no without fear. I can ask for rest without guilt. I can be quiet without being questioned. And in that space of honored autonomy, love becomes deeper, not diluted. Because what we all want isn't control, it's the freedom to be fully ourselves and still fully loved. Part 9. Say sorry and mean it, repair matters. No matter how deeply we love, we will hurt each other. We will speak without thinking. Forget what matters. raise our voices, shut down when we should open up. This is part of being human. But what separates hurting from harming is what happens next. Do we deny, deflect, justify, or do we look our partner in the eyes and say the words that begin healing? I'm sorry. I was wrong. I care more about your heart than my pride. Saying sorry is not weakness, it's relational strength. It says, you matter more than being right. Our connection matters more than my ego. A true apology doesn't come with excuses or blame. It doesn't sound like, I'm sorry you feel that way, or, I'm sorry. But you started it. A real apology stands still, looks inward, and acknowledges pain caused, even if it wasn't intentional. Picture Olivia and Ben. Olivia forgot their anniversary, again. Not because she didn't care, but because work had consumed her. When Ben brought it up, Olivia could have gone defensive. You know I've been stressed. Why are you making it a big deal? But instead, she paused, looked at him, and said, you're right, I forgot something important to you. And I'm truly sorry. I know that must have hurt. That moment opened a door. Not just to repair, but to deeper intimacy. Ben didn't need perfection, he needed to feel that his feelings mattered. In a marriage, repair is more important than perfection. You will mess up, but if your partner knows you'll always return with humility, tenderness, and a genuine desire to make it right, they will feel safe to stay open. Emotional safety isn't created by avoiding mistakes, it's built by how quickly and gently we clean them up. So don't wait to be asked. Don't wait until the silence gets loud. Say sorry when it's needed. Say it with your words. Say it with your actions. And most of all, show them that your love is big enough to own your missteps. Part 10. Show up daily. Consistency builds safety. At the core of every lasting marriage is not grand gestures, perfect communication, or even romance. It's consistency. Showing up, day after day, season after season, with love that's steady, kind, and unshakable. It's not glamorous. It won't get you applause. But it builds something more powerful than passion. It builds trust. Deep, stable, quiet trust. It's in the little things. Like remembering how they take their coffee. Texting, thinking of you, in the middle of a busy day. Sitting beside them on the couch. Even if you're both too tired to talk. It's folding their laundry the way they like it. Rubbing their back when they've had a hard day. It's saying, good night, even after an argument. Because love is a commitment, not a mood. Let's look at Mateo and Claire. They've been married almost 20 years. The spark? It comes and goes, like it does for everyone. But Mateo makes her tea every night. Without fail. Claire still lays out his vitamins on the counter each morning. They don't gush over each other on Instagram. But they are each other's routine. Their rhythm, their soft place to land. And in that rhythm, they've built a world where both can exhale. When your partner knows you will show up, especially when it's inconvenient, they begin to rest. And that rest is what makes love feel safe. They no longer have to wonder if your mood will shift, if your love will fade, or if they need to earn your affection all over again. They know, deep in their bones, that even on hard days, you'll still be there, still loving, still choosing. Consistency isn't exciting, but it is profoundly beautiful. It's what builds the foundation of emotional safety. It tells your partner, you don't have to be perfect to be loved here. You just have to be you, and I'll be here. Every time. Conclusion. Love that feels safe lasts longer. At the end of the day, we all long for the same thing, not perfect love, but safe love. A love where you don't have to tiptoe. Where your voice is welcome. Where your tears aren't inconvenient. Where your joy isn't too loud and your pain isn't too much. A love where you can be your whole self, and still be held with tenderness. And the truth is, this kind of love isn't built on grand romantic gestures or picture-perfect moments. It's built in the quiet, daily acts of care, in how you listen without judgment, in how you keep your word even when no one's watching, in the way your touch reassures, your words affirm, and your calm in conflict becomes a shelter. It's built every time you choose curiosity over assumption, celebration over comparison, freedom over pressure, humility over pride, and consistency over convenience. So tonight, or tomorrow morning, or whenever life feels a little too fast, slow down. Turn to your partner. Ask, what can I do today that helps you feel safe with me? And then, do that small thing, again and again, because in the end, it's not the big moments that hold a marriage together, it's the quiet ones. The ordinary ones, the steady ones, and if you keep showing up with that kind of love, day by day, you just might build something unshakable. If something in this video touched your heart, please like and subscribe to stay connected. This channel isn't just about giving advice, it's about reminding you that love, in all its forms, is worth fighting for, whether you're in love, in doubt, or in the middle of rebuilding something fragile. You're not alone. Share your thoughts in the comments below. We're here with you, and we look forward to seeing you again in the next episode.